Who's got that loud stuff going on?
What? What's loud?
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the ranch. Bland's Promised Land Ranch. You know, in the old days, anybody that's here would only know us by...
Look at the glowing lights back there.
The Promised Land. But we had to change our name because somebody else had the same idea.
Yeah. It's like a milk company, too. A milk company has it, too. The Promised Land. Like dairy or something.
Yeah, we got to get that fixed up and get some of them royalties, you know what I mean?
We have nothing to do with that.
You know good and well they're making money off of our name.
They're not the Blands anything. Hey, how are you, Caleb? Hey, Gwen, Heather Lynn, Jesse. Jesse says, we be the promised people.
What up?
How are you, Miss Annette at Apple Tree Urban Homestead? She said she's going to the garden center to get some seedlings. Ooh, that's fun. That is fun. I like that.
Should you be scooting closer to me or something? What's going on?
Good. It's your little thing. No, I'm in a regular chair. I'm in a regular chair. Hey, okay, so we got Levi and Mackenzie Goss in here.
Oh, what's up?
And let's see who else we have. Jennifer Anger, rhymes with danger. Jennifer's in here. I'm not missing you tonight. Okay, I probably might, but I hope not. She was in here earlier, so I don't know if she's in here yet. And of course, GossMania is in here. They're getting ready to come up here in just a minute. Let's see who else is here. I'm trying to see how many people.
You got Annette from Apple Tree Urban.
I just said that
Homestead.
She's going to the garden center.
Oh,
she's going to go get some seedlings. That's pretty cool.
Broke Cowgirl Homestead. Howdy, y'all.
Is it warm down there, Gwen? Because it's getting a little warm up here. It was 90 today. I think it was 90 today. I saw the little thing read 90. It was warm. We were outside a little bit, but I haven't really gone outside as much as I would normally do today. I like the heat, so I'm fine with it. I like the heat. I do. Really? I do. I like the heat.
You like the heat. All right.
Hey, Miss Jackie Saylor. How are you, beautiful lady? Are you having a good time? Now, I'm pretty sure she's in Florida.
Yeah.
So is it really hot down there in Florida? I imagine it's hot in Florida.
Wow, you're a woman of many words today.
I am. Hey, Emma, how are you?
Well, we're really appreciative of everybody stopping in to see us tonight.
It was hot.
Why are you making all that?
Gwen said, I got candy.
Snacks. Okay.
Gwen said it was hot, 95 and about 90% humidity. Yeah, it was definitely a little sticky outside. A little sticky. Hey, Carmen, how are you?
Now, she's down south, right?
Gwen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How far south are we going?
I think by your brother.
Oh, towards Houston?
Towards Houston, Katy, all that. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Gwen's down there.
Well, it's always humid in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like people like you, where they say, I like the heat.
Mm-hmm.
If you live there, I'm assuming you like the humidity.
Maybe not. Maybe they just have to live there.
Oh.
Maybe that's where God planted them, and then they're just kind of there. And then they're just those people that have to wear their hair up off their neck all the time. Because I knew it was hot today, because when I came inside, I had to pull my hair up. I was like, all right, cool. Because it was curly. It was pretty. And now it's just.
Wait, you curled your hair today?
Yes. No, last night Abigail curled it yesterday, and now it's a mess. It's just there because it's so humid. It just fluffed up and it stuck to my hair, stuck to my neck.
We've had our wet season.
Hey, Nathan.
For sure.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of water. So if you haven't had a chance, go check out one of our videos. We do the IBC totes, and we did a video on how to make your own connection that goes onto the IBC tote so that you can put a hose to it and water your garden, collect your own rainwater, things like that. Of course, make sure you can do that in your local area there.
Yeah, back up in here in case something happens tonight.
Huh?
In case I start messing with you, you got backup in here. Nathan's in here.
Oh yeah, hey, thanks.
He's always got your back.
But
hi, Levi. How are you?
Anyway, we had so much rain. You know, them totes hold 250 gallons of water. Robert Lonis, good to see you in here. Lisa Calovi, what's up?
Oh, I need to see that video.
Anyway, we had so much rain. We had pumped everything from around the house where we collected over towards the garden, filled up everything top to bottom, even a bunch of 55-gallon drums sitting around the garden so that we can dip and, water our garden by row instead of sprinkler. which helps with weeds, by the way. But anyway, within like 2 days of rain, they were filled up again, like filled up to overflowing.
Yeah,
So-
that was last week. It was just rainy all week. It was crazy, but yeah, they were filled up really fast. So today we were putting some. We got these bags to put on the base of your trees. We've got 4 trees in the front of our house, fruit trees, and it's always a thing that I'll water my garden and I forget about his trees, and I feel really bad because I don't want them to die. But they're like, one side flourishes, one side's doing really great, and the other side's kind of like, help me. But I need to keep watering them and I forget. So we got these water bag things that you put around the base of the trees and you can fill them up, and it's like, I guess, a slow release water thing.
Yeah.
So we had Elijah fill them up today, which is pretty cool. And I really wanted him to use some of the water from the water totes, but he was like, it's going to take a while and I don't feel like dealing with the pump, and can we please just use the hose? And I was like, sure, just use the hose. But I would definitely like to be able to get the water used so that we can get it filled up when it does rain again. But I don't think it's going to rain again for a little bit. So
yeah, so that's one of the things that we're focusing on this year, is those trees, trying to get those trees to harvest some fruits off of them. And JB Conway, how you doing? Alicia over at Country Mile Music.
It was 92 today in Iowa. It's crazy. They went right from like winter to summer. Anyway, sorry, you were talking.
Well, we don't. I mean, look, let's be honest. We get spring and summer here. That's all we get.
Spring and summer? No, we have winter. Get out of here.
Do we? Okay.
We have video proof that we have winter. Video proof, I tell you.
A week does not count.
It's winter, and it's more than a week. We had lots of winter here. Lots of winter. Carmen has 370-gallon IBC rainwater harvesting totes. Agreed, totally, to start catching water. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that one of the things that has hindered us getting our fruits off of those trees is not keeping them watered enough. So with these
Wait a second.
water bags. What?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I got thrown off. Garrett's here. Gary, are you at a graduation right now, or are you home? Because I'm wondering.
I'm gonna tell you something.
He's committed.
If this dude right here
is that his sister's graduation?
Is that his sister's graduation?
And he's watching us.
And he's logged in to watch this while he's there. He gets a free T-shirt. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Get him some T-shirts.
Gary, let me know. Or if you're at the graduation, you're watching us live, you get a free T-shirt.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's funny because Liberty, she's one of our, coming on here every week. She's graduating from college. She doesn't even graduate from high school until next Friday, but she's graduating from college tonight with her 2-year degree, associate's degree. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so excited for her. So congratulations, Liberty. But Garrett, if he's in here while I'm sitting in the car watching, we all just got out. Yes, he's actually after the graduation.
You know what, Garrett?
We're going to get Garrett a shirt.
You get a T-shirt, buddy. You get a T-shirt.
Dedicated right there.
Who else? If you're in here and you're at a graduation and you're watching right now, let me know. Comment down below. You get a T-shirt. It's so hard
staying consistent with watering fruit trees, especially if they're far away from the big garden. And that's the thing. They're not that far. They're like literally right there, Carmen. But they're kind of like.
They're far.
They're not in my zone. Like I water and I'm watering and I'm watering. It's my thing. And then I have to hop out of the garden and then go water that. It's just, yeah.
For Monica, she tries.
Abby's here too. She's showboating now because they're both sitting in the car.
Wait, is Abby in the car too?
I bet you.
Abby, if you're in the car and you're logged in right now, you get a T-shirt.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. You feel like Oprah.
I'm just
anyway.
Yeah, I'm just starting to give everybody T-shirts. Everybody's going to tell me they're like,
yeah,
I'm at a graduation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it, Alicia? I'm so excited for her. Oh, wait. Jesse said, I'm watching a graduation online. Does that count? GossMania said, I can't wait to do a water for a raised bed garden because it takes forever to water them. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, you have a lot of raised beds. We're going to talk about that in a second. So you go live next week. You're going to go live next week. Oh, wait. You know what, Jackie? You want a shirt, and I actually ordered it already.
She wants a T-shirt.
I think I already ordered her shirt.
Going live. She wants us to
go live next week. I want a T-shirt. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I like T-shirts. Emma doesn't have a T-shirt. Oh, we need to get her one.
Well, you got to earn it. Go to somebody's graduation.
So great. Next year,
watch.
Abigail.
It's that easy.
And next weekend. A gallon jug with a pinhole in it will water fruit trees. Oh, that's cool. But won't it just keep coming out though?
The idea is that it's a slow release, and if the ground is too saturated, then it stops it from continuing.
Yeah. Oh, Liberty just said, holla, do I get a shirt?
No, I'm already giving too many t-shirts away. Plus, you're supposed to be paying attention at your graduation.
I had to take the kid in 3 Friends Her School's game tonight. What do I win? Yeah, she didn't go live today because, well, she did go live. So Raquel over at Brampton Gardner, she went live earlier today to tell about how she wasn't going to go live today.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she went live just so she could say she wasn't going to go live because she had things to do tonight. So I watched a little bit of it and then I got distracted. So sorry. I watched a little bit though.
Hey, that's totally legit.
Cottonwood Ranch. Don't you love that logo? Isn't that so cute?
Wow, look at that.
Do you know who that is?
I do not.
It's Raquel. It's Raquel.
Wait, Raquel, she's
trying to be more anonymous. Isn't she so cute though with her?
She rebranded. You already said it out loud.
She rebranded. I love it so much.
Way to go! I missed game night, by the way. I was looking forward to that for a while.
The Little Busy House. Hello, how are you?
What's going on?
Oh, that's so cool. From Quebec. I love it.
Nice.
Oh, Raquel wants a shirt.
Wait.
I should get Raquel a shirt. You know why? Because I sent her a Christmas card this year.
Yeah.
And like, I want to say like January something, like the end of January, it got kicked back to me.
Wait, you sent a Christmas card in January?
No, I sent it in December.
Oh, okay.
And the Canadians were like, no way, gone. And they kicked it back to me.
Do you think when they looked at it, they were like, no way, eh?
Maybe. Oh, there's Danny too. Hey, Danny. I thought I saw Danny come in.
What's going on?
I have Promised Land People. That's right. He has the Promised Land People shirt. I'll sell here for $100. Collector's item. Yeah, the Promised Land People because he doesn't have the ranch one. They're gonna send you a new one. I've got to actually call them. Yeah.
All right. Well, I was thinking about it. I can't not give a T-shirt to Liberty. It'll be a graduation gift.
Oh, we already got her stuff.
Okay, never mind. She doesn't get the shirt now.
But she graduates twice.
Okay, then she gets the shirt. Yeah. Why do you you're changing my mind?
Yes, Jackie, isn't it? Oh, you accidentally disconnected your live. That's really funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so did you want to say something? Because I think we should probably get ready to bring our guests up because they have to, so early morning.
First of all, the light is all jacked up. This is why you're not allowed to be in charge of stuff.
Really?
Yeah. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right.
Rude. Hey, Miss Brenda, how are you? Gary, what are we talking about? We are talking about how Eric is turning into Oprah Winfrey all of a sudden.
He don't even know who that is.
I'm sure he knows.
She was probably off TV before he was even born.
But you know what? He's not Oprah because he actually believes in Jesus. Oh, did I say that? But anyway, but he's just giving away stuff for free. Anyway, Gwen, you can use the strainer at the top or make it to where they can't get in. Our ABC totes haven't had issues with mosquitoes. Yeah, we haven't had issues with mosquitoes for ours, and I'm not sure why, because they are literally, poor Abigail, they're surrounding her windows on the side of the house. So if they were a problem, she would have some serious mosquito issues by her window, but she doesn't. It seems to be good.
Hey, keep it on her side. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Little Ridge Farm, how are you?
Are all these folks in here because of GossMania?
Maybe. I think it's great. Hey, Tiny Tim. Did Eric say hi to you? Because I didn't hear that if he did.
I did.
How are you, Mr. Tiny Tim? Let's see.
Abby is in here. That's a different Abby, isn't it?
That's the same Abby.
Is it?
So my data's not working very well, so it's glitching out. Yeah.
Oh, well, if you glitch out, if I see those numbers drop, you automatically get no T-shirt.
Yeah. Around here, mosquitoes get into anything with water. Yeah. Well, I think we have what's called like distracted water areas. We're distracting the mosquitoes to the water areas where the ducks like to hang out. So they like sit stagnant for part of the day. And then all the like ducks like attack it and go and then eat all the good stuff there. So, yeah.
All right. Well, look.
I know, Miss Brenda, we're only 9 away from 900. We're getting there, like slowly but surely. We're like the slowest train ever.
We're like the little engine that might.
We can. It's okay.
I think I can. Look.
Yes, Carmen. Mine has been terrible the past couple of days, and Eric's phone's all glitched out. It's so weird.
I lost like half my contacts.
He did. He lost half of his contacts. I was nothing but an empty face and a number. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Troy, how are you?
Anyway, look, it is 8:15.
Girl, I'm telling you.
We have some special guests on tonight, and they are not night owls.
They're not night owls.
Not night owls.
They got to get up early.
Well, you know what? That probably means they're reasonable.
They're normal. They're normal people.
I am a night owl, and I am totally unreasonable. Because the next morning I'm like beating myself up. Like that was the dumbest thing to do. Stay up until midnight. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
You know, and then you're like walking up steps and you're struggling for breath and energy.
And here I am, like Eric's falling asleep, like all laying up against me. And I'm like rubbing his head. I'm like, oh, so sweet. I'm like, okay, it's 2 a.m. I have to get him off of me so I can sleep now. I feel so bad because I kind of like move just so you can get off me and I can actually sleep. But then it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh man, why did I stay up so late? Wow. Yeah, look, Alicia says I was up till 2 a.m. That's because some podcasters were up way too late last night.
I know, I didn't even get to see my wife last night.
Chatting.
If I want to see her, I gotta like log online or something. I don't know.
Too. The busy low house.
Anyway, look, we want to bring our guests up here because we want to be mindful of their time.
Yes.
We want to try to stick to their time so that they can be out at a reasonable time, so that they're not unreasonable and not able to function at work tomorrow.
All right, let's see. So let's welcome GossMania.
All right,
to our GossMania Homestead. Hey guys.
Hey y'all.
We're doing great. How are you?
Pretty good.
Well, I'm already getting tired. So.
Well, look, I don't know about you, but for me, there is definitely a sense of comfort when I get to lay against Monica. So if you feel like you just want, Robin, if he wants to lay on, there you go.
Just prop your head on Drusha's shoulder or head. You can just start snoozing.
I fell asleep on one of the last one night. So.
Bless his heart, yeah. He gets up at 2:30 in the morning. To get ready for work because he's got to get there, and he drives an hour to work too. So.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So what do you do for work?
I work at a Let's English shipbuilding, and I work in the maintenance department.
He works for, he does oil changes and stuff.
It's the biggest employer down here in Mississippi. Build
They're the
battleships
biggest
and stuff like that.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
He just works on the smaller equipment like the trucks and the boats and the oil changes.
Yeah, oil changes and small boats,
Not the big boats.
So just out of curiosity, why? I know you said you have to drive, and obviously you're waking yourself up, getting on the drive to get there. What time do you actually show up to work?
I start work at 6 o'clock.
But he's there by 5.
But you don't understand when.
This is like a small city.
Okay, there's 12,000 people that work there, and you got to park amongst 12,000 people that don't know how to drive.
And then they're running late, and the traffic's horrendous. So that's.
And I park probably about 10 minutes to 5.
His mouth.
And I head in.
Oh, Snoopy's sneaking in for his 5 minutes of fame.
But that's why I leave so early.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
wow.
Too late because the walk-in is a little while, and then they have no drive time at a certain time too, where you can't drive in the yard.
So okay, you got your we'll call it corporate job, which just away from the farm. So what about you, Garusha? Do you also Jerusha, excuse me.
I'm like making sure you say it right because I'm looking at it.
You're good. Got it.
She says it so fast when she opens up. She's like, "Hey, it's Drusha from GossMania Homestead." I'm like, she said her name so fast. It was one syllable. It wasn't all the syllables. It was one syllable.
It's easy to let people remember when I say, okay, say Jerusalem, take the limb off, and Jerusha.
Yeah, see?
Okay, well, that's good. Is that how you spell it as well?
It's Jerusha. So you take off the ALEM and you put the HA on the end. Jerusha.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you work outside the home?
No. I homeschool, and I raise basset hounds. It's kind of our side income with the kids. So
do you guys when you with the basset hounds, do you train them as well, or you just?
No, we just raise them for companions.
It's the Secret Service, Robin.
Yeah, he said that. Aaron. He said, "Hold on a second." He's trying to let her little girl. She's asking a question. He'd be right back. But no, we just raise them as pets for families, and we have our own website and gotten pretty well known in our area because I'm usually the only one on the Mississippi, kind of between Louisiana, Texas, and then Florida and Alabama, all that has basset hounds down here. We started many, many years ago. We had basset hounds before we had children. And then we just decided to start raising them again because our oldest daughter who passed away, she wanted to get another one. So we got another little female, and then she passed away maybe a year after we had her. And then I was talking to my husband. I said, well, should we go ahead and start raising them again? Because that's what she wanted to do. She wanted a mommy-daughter business. So I got a boy. It kind of went from there. So all our Bassets are named after Snoopy characters, which is our daughter's favorite thing to ever collect. So we have Lucy and Charlie Brown. That was our first parents. And then we have Linus, Woodstock, Snoopy. We have Marcy, Violet, Peppermint Patty, and Sally. So, and now we got a new little girl named Frankie. But it's Franklin, but we named her Frankie.
Okay. And so you said these are just companion dogs for you all?
Dogs, yes. We love the breed ourselves, and it's kind of like the best short dog you can really have. And you know, they're not too energetic, and they're really good with kids. And also, they remind you of Snoopy's, I guess, too.
Well, I was going to ask you what made you decide to start with Basset Hounds? Did you grow up with them, or?
He had a Basset Hound. What is it, young? Like, you mean your late teens?
When I was little, we had a Basset Hound in the family, and I had one when I was growing up. I've always loved them.
And then when we were dating, he wanted another one, and I got him a female. I went all the way to North Mississippi, and we were dating maybe for about almost a year. And I got him a female and surprised him, brought him the female, and then later he got me a male, and that kind of started it way back when. And they had one litter together, and then we kept a daughter from that litter and a boy. But the daughter is the only one that ever had a litter herself. And then of course, they got old and they passed on. And then we kind of got another female. But we have an older. She's a grandma out there. She's almost 13. She hadn't had any babies. But the other ones, we just decided to raise them, and we love on them as pets, and they get to run around with the kids from time to time. We don't have all our 6 acres fenced, so they're in a big, huge, massive yard together at the moment at night. So, and with big, nice buildings for their homes, because we have a little home. We can't put all like 8 Bassets in the house.
I was gonna say that's a lot of Basset Hounds.
Well, we also have an English Mastiff, and she's in the backyard in her own area. So, and she's old. She's almost 11.
Well, that's like complete opposite ends of the spectrum on the dog scale, right?
Really good girl. She's been very protective of her kids. Before we moved on our property, we lived near his dad, and we had not so nice, kind of shady neighbors that would do things in the middle of the night, and she would kind of fend them off. So the big Mastiff, so she's done her fair share of protecting. But she's a big baby.
That's fun. Aw.
You said it was a Mastiff, right?
She's an English Mastiff. Yes.
English Mastiff.
So is that the big ones? Is that the real big ones?
It's kind of like, the St. Bernard size, but she's not as furry as them.
That's what I was thinking. The big ones, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
She's never had puppies, but she's almost 11.
No. They slobber a lot, though, don't they?
She's not as bad as some. Only when she eats and when she drinks a lot of water. But normally, like when she's by herself and she can't drink a lot, she's not that bad. Mm-hmm. That's like the Napoleon Mastiffs. The Napoleon ones are the droopy face ones, like Turner and Hooch. What's the Hooch?
Yeah, Turner and Hooch.
Yeah, and they got the like.
Well, Monica and I, our first dog together, and it's kind of funny that I was actually telling my eldest and daughter-in-law that they've been married for a year now. I told them that puppies are typically the gateway to children, right? So Monica and I, our first puppy that we had was a pit bull, and I will never forget the day that I took her to the park to just get her out and stretch her legs.
Not me, the dog.
Both of them. But we came up to a Mastiff at it was a youth football game going on. This guy had a Mastiff on the leash, and my dog was probably 15 pounds. She was just a little puppy, and I went up to look at this dog, and because there were some other people petting on it, and so I was petting on the dog, and I felt this like vibrating feeling on my leg, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. And I looked down, and my dog was looking up at the underside of this dog, growling. And I'm like, no, man, you're as big as this dog's head. It's going to kill you if you try to touch it. but it was funny.
I'm trying to be brave.
She never had fear. I don't know if it was just the breed or what it was, but there was no fear from the day we got her to the day that we got rid of her, I guess.
Yeah. Until the day we had to say goodbye.
Yeah.
But so I've been watching your channel off and on for a while now, because I caught you on, I want to say I don't do Loofah, right? But
Did too.
well, I first saw you your videos when you were actually cleaning your loofah. It was your loofah videos what I caught first. And then I kind of went back, when you find a new channel, you're like, oh, cool. And then you go back and watch a few. And then the other video I saw right after that was when Robin was about to possibly lose his job, and there was a lot coming down the pipeline, and it was like a big deal. And he was just like, we're going to pray, but we're going to stand firm, and we're going to do what we need to do.
Yeah, we
and
did.
it really resonated to me, because we were dealing with a lot of that with his job that he wasn't totally in love with, but he was there, and we know God put him there for a reason. But it was coming, and it was coming fast for him, and he was going to have to make some choices, whether he would stand firm and say, this is how I feel about it or not. And so, it was really cool to see someone else the same thing was going on, and you were so candid and so open about it. And I just wanted to say, I appreciate that so much. So for people that don't know about your channel or what you are all about, will you share a little bit about who you are and why you're doing the things you're doing? Because I got a lot out from that video, just of y'all talking. I really kind of felt like I knew you a little bit, like I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I get it. So tell us a little about yourselves.
First of all, thank you for praying for us. And,
yes.
And
we wanted to let other people know that they weren't alone in it.
Faith over fear is always the better way to go, and always remember that God's first in everything. He put you there for a reason. He put me there for a reason. I have opportunities to talk to people about Jesus all the time, and it just feels like it's where we're supposed to be. And I was ready to go. That's what I was supposed to do.
We had a piece about it. We normally no one quite knows a lot about our backstory, but before our daughter passed, in 2008, your mom.
In 2008,
he left.
I had a good job, and I was working, making decent money. The first time I ever been laid off in 2008. And I was laid off for 10 months. And 2 months later,
no money.
We lost my mama. And everything we had saved up, we used to pay what we could.
And it started getting behind.
Getting behind. Well, then I was working myself, doing stuff here and there. Took jobs. We worked at a grocery store.
That was the first job. He had to take it because we had nothing coming in.
From 2008 to 2018, we took all, well, not till 2017, we took all of our tax return and every money we made extra,
paying stuff off,
trying to get ahead and everything.
It's hard to remain faithful when you're in such a hole, because being behind 2 or 3 months on a car, and then you having to redo your car, and then on a home where the people don't want to give you a grace period. Of course, you need to pay your bills, but when you get in such a deep hole like that, when you've had bills, that's kind of how we kind of went with our faith and everything, just trying to remain faithful. We had a lot of help from my dad. Helped us from time to time, but
when it come down to time where we didn't know where the money was coming from, we just prayed about it and asked God, and it happened. It got paid.
But then the channel started after that. Well, it wasn't a channel yet. Our oldest daughter, Madison, we used to watch, just family YouTubers. That's back in the day when there was just family channels mainly, 2000 and, 15 or so. And she wanted to do a channel. We have like little videos that we never posted, introducing ourselves and telling everybody's name. And she's the one that named our channel. We were trying to figure out a name, and she I said, we need to have our name in it somehow. And she said, well, we could call it GossMania Homestead, but there was already one of those. and then I said, well, our life is complete mania sometimes. We have 6, by the time we had 5 kids. And she's like, let's call it GossMania. I said, you like that? So for a while we were just GossMania. That was it. And we did family videos because after our daughter died, we decided to really start posting on our channel. Just to mainly for memories with the kids, trips, and just silly moments, I guess. And then in 18, we moved up on our property that we've had for a while.
And then it becomes more like, okay, what we can do here, and then we can teach people the memories. Kids can learn from this video later on. We started meeting people like y'all and Cameron and all these other people that are doing that.
We started doing homestead
so then we started
focused.
trying to learn more, and then I had the job making decent money, so I could buy a better tractor, and we could actually make this happen. So the channel is just.
And that's when he got his job too, pretty much.
That's when I got my job. So
God was kind of putting it all into play,
and I had told God, because she heard God talk to her. He said He had great plans for us. So that's what we're going by. Just whatever He puts in play, we roll with it, because there's no reason to doubt when the man speaks. That's all I can say.
and we basically try to capture our kids, but we try to teach people what we're doing at the same time.
And we try to talk about God as much as possible.
Yeah.
Leave verses up there on the screen. Just try to inspire people and just let them know that there's greater out there. More good out there than there is evil.
Yep, that's true.
I think that's that's a message that people need to hear, especially, I mean, it's forever, right? Ever since the beginning of time, they need to hear that message. But especially now with everything that's going on, a lot of people are looking for different things to find hope in, and the message doesn't change, right? Our hope lies in Christ. That's the hope. That's the only thing in this world that has never changed and never will change.
Right, it's the honor and manual of life, that book right there. You just keep up that book, it tells you what's happening, and everything's got to happen. So,
And a lot of people who've lost faith, I always tell people, it's hard when you lose a kid. You don't understand things. You don't understand why. You're not supposed to ask why, but God's still like your father, so don't be afraid to ask him why. Even though you might not like the answer, just because this was his purpose, this was his timing. And I always tell people that even when you do not hear God and you're in your quietest moments and your darkest times, you don't hear him, he's still there. Even though you don't hear him, he's still there watching you and trying to guide you through it, because that 10 years was kind of our heaviest moments, and then our darkest time was losing our daughter, and then rebuilding from that and raising our kids here. Homesteading has been really a blessing.
So it's
It's
definitely been a journey, but never did we lose our hope and our faith in everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, and like the Little Ridge Farm, we've been really focused on getting debt free, and that's another thing. We will be debt free in about 18 months. So that's a big thing for us too to focus on this year.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Well, we can transition at that. One of the things that Monica and I look at from time to time, and we actually did a video this past year at the closing of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, we started making some different goals. What goals did you all set out for your homestead?
For the homestead in particular, when we first got here, there's nothing up here, like nothing. We wanted mainly to get if we were really going to truly homestead, I guess we wanted chickens and buildings for chickens and being able to garden better. So that's why we did the reason we moved our raised bed garden is because we have a flat spot. We have like a hilly area, and it kind of goes to what do you call like marshy creek area when it gets wet. So we established those, and mainly just our homestead goals was just to update I guess what?
Just to be able to have as much food as we possibly could, or as much self-sustaining as we could, and just to maybe eventually be able to stay here and just have
His goal,
make extra
his
money
main
off of it.
goal, life goal, is to be home and to work from home. And even if we don't, I know some people do good with YouTube, but some don't. But even if we just get out of debt, and then him to be able to have some way for him to work from home as a goal. But one day, our main goal is to, if we're meant to be here for a long period of time, we would love to get a pole barn home started. That's our next major goal. And we're praying and hoping. We've been very patient with the Lord's timing, and it could have happened years ago, but it wasn't meant to be. We had plans to get a house built, and that's the day. Actually, we were going to go talk to a contractor, and that's the day he lost his job in 2008. So we had to be a little patient.
Yeah.
Question.
Well, I think it's really cool though that you have. Well, I just want to say I love that you start your videos off with so many of your videos, if not all of them that I've seen, have started off with your children, your family, and I love the fact that you were saying that one of the things you have is so that your kids can look back on this and learn and see themselves in your journey, and I think that's super important. When we first started doing this, our oldest son was like, be really mindful, because my oldest is 22, and he said, just be careful. Don't let people see where you're at, and don't let people see the kids. And there's weirdos out there, Mom. And I'm like, okay, but our kids are such a huge part of what we do that we've kind of just let that go. And we're kind of like, look, they're a huge part of where we are and who we are and what we're doing. And we're not as far, I think, off the radar as many more people are. But I love what you're doing with the space that you have. I think I'd read in your about section that you have 6 acres?
Yes, we have 6.
I thought you said
4 usable. It's 6 acres. Yes.
Okay. So you have this massive potato area that I saw you in a video. You were like, just rows and rows. I was like, oh my.
We've been all out of potatoes this year, and he wanted me to just buy one 25-pound bag of potatoes, but we bought 2 different 25-pound bags of potatoes. 50-pound bags, yes. And then I planted 20 pounds of sweet potatoes.
I was like, oh my word. I was like, well, they're going to have some potato sack races right there, because there's some big bags of potatoes. But I love it. I love that you were out there doing that, and you were or telling everything that you had in that part of it. But I just thought it was really cool that you were out there doing it. And in most of your videos, the kids are helping. When you were looking at your raised bed gardens, and your raised bed gardens, by the way, are gorgeous. They have those beautiful trellises that go over to each one. I love that so much. And I imagine, did you loofah over those? Did you do loofah on some of those?
My loofah supposed to stay on one. So my loofah video, you can see where the loofah is, and I had these green solar panel powered Edison bulb lights. So what happened was they grew, but then they went everywhere else. So when you plant loofah, it's gonna go nuts. So where it was supposed to stay, it went over the one trellis it was on, then it went to the next one, and then it went to the left, and then went down the trellises I had for tomatoes that didn't work out. But it was okay, because a lot of my garden wasn't very successful that year. But I had over 150 loofahs. It was crazy.
Yeah, I've been warned by Carmen over at Jesus Loving Homesteader. That's loofahs are her trigger, I think, right now, because she was like, look, you only need 1 seed. Okay. You only need 1 seed.
2 or 3 plants created loofahs. I think I have loofah seeds for life, so we try to here and there sometimes.
Jake over at Nanya, Texas, on the back 20. We need to talk to you need to talk to Carmen, and we need to get you some seeds next time we see Carmen. We still need to have a little get together, so you all can get together, and we'll have Carmen bring some loofah seeds, because girlfriend's probably got a lot of seeds. Because I was watching your video, Jerusha, after I had heard from. Carmen and I had a conversation about this a while back. It was about loofah, and I started looking it up, and your channel came up, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that's cool. And I love the way you did it, because I thought it was super smart. And I was like, this is smart. Okay, I like it. But you were just really candid about how it was like. You're like, okay, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to soak it. I'm going to I just really liked it, and I thought it was really awesome that way too. But yeah, I love that you have your kids in your videos. I love that it is a family thing. And the cool thing is like you said, your kids are going to be able to look back on this and not only see the memories of building your homestead, building out where they live. They're looking at all these skills that they're going to be refreshed with. I talked to a guy the other day, and he was like, yeah, I used to help my dad and my grandpa do meat rabbits when I was a kid, but I don't really remember how to do this. And I'm thinking maybe I need a refresher. And I was like, yeah, we can help. But the cool thing is that I was thinking about it when you're looking at your videos. I was like, their kids, if they need a refresher, they can go back and look at what their family did.
That's
There's
the whole
the refresher.
I really think that's the whole point to homesteading. A lot of homesteaders, I guess, get kind of commercialized, and what they began with was their children. And not saying that they're bad people, it's just they kind of lose focus in what really not lose focus, but I believe homesteading is mainly it's your family. And then you meet other families, and you get families from the community, like the busy little house. We've become really good friends, and we're thousands of miles away from each other. And she's taught me so much, and I've taught her things. And then we have other Deep
People
South
local
Homestead that it's near here. He's taught us many things, and it's just a community. And people just really don't need to lose focus in what homesteading truly is. It's about community.
If you watch some other, we're remodeling the camper as a family, and then Levi and I are restoring an old tractor, doing some work yet. When I get done with it, the video will be popping up on that.
It's my dad's old tractor. He teaches his boys about the machines, really.
And that's what
it's a lost.
Buy older tractors store.
It's really a lost.
It's a lost trade. I mean,
trade really.
People don't mess with old stuff. I love old stuff. So my tractor, I won't have a new one.
Well, I think that's that. Yeah, to
admirable. I love it.
To your point, Jerusha, that homesteading is about community and helping one another, and one of the greatest things about that is the fact that the people that you're going to help learn how to do it the most are the people living in your house. And I was just Monica. I don't know what she was doing over here, not paying attention, but
I was writing stuff down.
She was pulled up one of your videos, and I saw your kids out there tightening down wheels on the tiller or something like that.
It was the potato video. I wanted him to see how big, because I didn't know if he had seen it. But this is, if y'all haven't watched it, you need to go to their channel. But they're
over 80 feet long.
How many feet long?
80 feet.
Oh my word. Yeah. So it's massive. I mean, she said we planted 120 pounds of potatoes. My mouth dropped. I was like, what in the world? I mean, but you're a big family, and I get it, because
we wouldn't all out this year because we had a smaller space, and but it was in a wetter area, and they didn't do so good.
We're learning more each year as we've been up here, because this land used to be pasture. And it's been vacant for a long time. Hasn't anything grown up here?
And we used to just let the kids play where the garden is now. And we said, no, we're going to do a garden.
She wanted to till the front yard out. So that's what it did.
Because you wanted what? I said, I want a big garden in the front yard.
And it's going to be longer next year, probably.
It's going to be bigger, probably.
Well, that's how it always goes. We started out with one, and then it grew a little bit, and then it got a little bit bigger. And then I started realizing that Monica wasn't utilizing the whole thing. So I was like,
what?
That's why we put the greenhouse in there. Don't even try it.
I was using the whole thing.
No, sure.
I have a greenhouse garden tour that I just videoed today. I'm going to be bringing it up, but it's got this sides of it, and that's made from a recycled pool frame. So we were just, hey, let's make a greenhouse out of my old pool frame that our pool got all ripped up. And
yeah. That's a good video too. I watched that video too, and I was going to ask you about that, because when you did it, you were saying in the video that you could actually extend it out if you wanted to, like make it bigger. And I'm like, she's got like a transformer.
It's like 10 foot long. If I wanted to, unfortunately, I would probably have to move the greenhouse over and then expand it. But where it's at, I could probably move it another 6 foot back, and just because I have a fence line to our property behind it.
Yeah.
If I You get like, I could like unscrew sections and brace it up, and you could put another pipe. Say it's right now it's 10 feet.
10 by.
It's 10 by 17.
Yeah.
So it's an 18-foot round pull frame. But when you put it like, the feet to feet, and you frame it want to be in 17 feet by 10 feet, you can make it as long as you want and just extend it and put the braces up.
You got to rebrace it and put poles in and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I loved it because on the video you were like, we could actually expand it if we wanted to. And I'm like, no, you're not expanding that, girl. You got stuff all the way around. You got all them pretty little garden things. You like made it all pretty around it. You ain't doing nothing. You're gonna get another one and expand that one because you ain't moving that. You got all them little cute little decorative things around the side. Ain't nobody moving that. I was like, be for real. But
I can only go back maybe about 4 feet. I'm not gonna take it apart probably just for 4 or 6 feet. We probably go to the high tunnel if we did another one anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I like leaned in. I was watching on my phone. I leaned in. I was like, no, you're not. Let me see that. And then you went in. I was like, okay, I can see what you're talking about, but it's too pretty on the outside. So seriously, y'all going to go watch the upcycle, the pull into greenhouse. So do you have a root cellar?
No, unfortunately not. No. That's
how are you going to store all those potatoes? Carmen, that's where Carmen's mind is going.
True potatoes. Like right now we just dug up about 15 pounds of the red potatoes because we had some that were dying back, and we're like, okay, let's just check. And we have like little ones, and they're about this big, and some are a little bit smaller.
Stewed potatoes.
Like stewed potatoes, so I can can the little circle. So that's what I plan on doing with the small ones. And then I really would love to have a freeze dryer one day. So if I could like chop them up and freeze dry them, that would be perfect. But that's like one of my next small homestead goals is to have a freeze dryer one day.
Well, even Jake said you can can them. I know you can chop them up into cubes. You can can them in cubes and do it that way. Stop looking at me. I'm eating chocolate and he's judging me.
She's over here crunching in my ear.
I'm eating M&Ms. He judges me when I eat snack in front of him.
I don't care. It's good for me. My kids are always in front of me, so it's okay.
She's so unprofessional.
Well, if I don't eat it in here right now, my kids will eat it out there, and I have to share with them. Like I can enjoy an entire bag of M&Ms without them coming in here.
Oh.
Let me have some.
Here you go. You take some. And I'm drinking the iced tea. I mean, I'm living the life.
What you got, Mama? What is it?
Yeah. That's what you have to do.
Stuck that down in her pocket. She stuck that down in her pocket and she snuck it in the room.
Yeah, that's why you have to. So I'll take my candy just to get off on a sub here. I'll take my.
Sure, go ahead.
I'll take my candy and I'll stick in my pocket, and then I'll just pull it from my pocket without no wrapper. They'll be like, where'd that candy wrapper come from?
Huh?
I said, my kids will ask me, where'd that candy wrapper come from in the trash? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. That was your brother's. No.
Yeah, what you talking about? But yeah, they have a layaway for freeze dryers. That's how I got mine. Yeah, they do. That's a good thing about that.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Are they? I mean, I'm assuming they're hard to get though right now, aren't they?
They're on back order, but so if let's just say it's on back order for 6 months, I think that you have to pay it off before they'll put it on the actual shipping. So they won't you can't order it and they'll be like, well, you have 6 months to pay before we ship it, but you have to pay it off. But they put a layaway plan down, which is really cool because then you're not going into $5,000 worth of debt trying to buy something. You pay it off, and once you pay it off, then they put you on the ship out, and sometimes it takes 6 months to get, but at least you're on there. You got it. You bought it.
They're all bad. I gotta get more.
Like I said, we're not going to that. So if we can pay layaway, that's fine. We can do that.
I upgraded my computer, which could have been almost a freeze dryer. So we like to pay cash. Almost a layaway. That's a nice option. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yogi, which is up in South Dakota, said that they have them in stores. So I don't know which.
They have them in Home Depot.
Do they really?
Home Depot sells them because I thought about that last year when you were in a different job. I was like, well, we could use our Home Depot credit card and then we can pay that off in big chunks. If we have like a 0 interest financing thing, we could do that, but I never did it. But yeah, Jake said the food is so good from freeze drying. Ours run 24/7. So he's been running his freeze dryer constantly. He has 2. He just bought 2 of them. He won't playing around.
Yeah, I was going to say I know I saw somebody that just had them.
Yeah.
that just got them in the order or in the shipment or whatever.
Oh, leave it to Alicia to have a smart place to hide all the candies. Put them in your feminine product boxes.
I don't have any of those boxes.
The only one that would find them would be, you know, the other members of the family.
The other girls.
So, you know, what I was saying earlier about, you know, teaching is so critical with the kids. I love seeing that with the kids out there learning how to help and build. And, you know, like I always tell my kids, you know, if they want to go to college, I'm all about that. But if they want to go to a tech school, I'm all about that too.
Yep.
Yeah. Not all kids are college material. Like our nephew, he does welding and he's a welder, and he just went to school to teach kids. Like sometimes trades are equally as important. And you know, for those who don't want to go to college and, you know, get a degree in college, learn a trade is equally as important most of the time.
Absolutely. So yeah, so when your potatoes that you have, your 18 acres of potatoes that you got planted, do all your members of the family like potatoes? Let's start with that. And the reason why I ask
they make their own French fries.
The reason why I ask though is because a lot of times we grow stuff and our kids really love helping for the most part, especially the younger ones, because they've grown up learning about all these different vegetables and plants and how to care for them and all this stuff that Monica's out there teaching them. But when we bring them in,
they're jerks
to the house, they're
just jerks about it. Bring it in and they're like,
I'm not going to eat that.
They're like, no, that doesn't look good. I'm just going to say it. They're jerks about it. They're like, nah, that was fun helping you pick it, helping you put it in the ground, but we ain't eating that mess. I'm like, y'all be rude little children.
They like potatoes. Like mashed potatoes, favorite around is usually French fries. I can kill a 10-pound bag of potatoes sometimes with potato salad alone in our family. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I might have leftovers, and again, I might not. But we could go through some potatoes.
Now
they don't like it so much in. They don't like it so much in like stews and stuff. They're like, "Ooh, it's got a peel on it." Like it's the same thing as the French fry and the mashed potatoes. But
as long as you wash it first, it's pretty good. They look better.
So these are real French fries, though, right? Because
they're for real. You gotta watch the video.
I'm getting ready to hurt some people's feelings in here, but I'm not a very violent person, but I feel like when you go to a restaurant and you ask for French fries and they ask if you want sweet potato fries or French fries, I want to choke somebody.
There's nothing wrong with sweet potato fries.
Nobody has the right to even mix those up. That should be put that over there with the tree huggers and stuff. That's what I'm saying.
If you can make a sweet potato fry and you make like a marshmallow dip that comes with it, you would probably change your mind.
See? Sweet potato fries are good. I like sweet potato fries. I have tried to make my own sweet potato fries, and I am terrible at that. So if anybody has a good recipe for sweet potato fries, homemade, send them my way.
I'll have to do.
You need to do a video on it.
Baked sweet potatoes. Or
he loves all of it. He likes meatloaf with mashed potatoes and gravy usually. It's like one of his go-to hearty meals.
Yeah.
So we can eat. We love regular potatoes. Half of my kids like mashed potatoes. Half of them don't. But when it comes to sweet potatoes, which I've never grown, but I liked every now and then I'll buy them, and I'm like, I'm gonna try sweet potato French fries. It's gonna be great. And I try them and I cut them up, and I'm excited. And for some reason, I feel like my excitement is gonna make it taste better, but it doesn't.
Still garbage.
I still can't do good.
I like bacon the sweet potatoes in the oven. You put cinnamon, sugar, and butter. Now that's good. I like them that way when you bake them.
Yeah.
My mom, which ironically just popped up in the chat.
He doesn't.
What does he say?
He said, putting on boxing gloves. How do you don't like sweet potato fries? Something's wrong with him,
bro.
Sydney.
We're not even using gloves. That's how violent I get about it. Look, my mom. Let me tell you something about my mom, okay? And that's why I said, ironically, she just popped up in chat here.
And your dad.
This woman has tried her entire life all different types of recipes to get me to like sweet potatoes.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if she drowns them with butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, puts it in a roll, a pie, bread.
Have you ever tried them chocolate covered?
It doesn't
Maybe covered
matter.
chocolate.
I make a mean sweet potato bake at a Thanksgiving with covered in. My son just went with pecans and a crusty buttered pecan
That's
topping.
what your mom makes.
Yeah.
His mom does the same thing. It is so good.
Mom makes that too.
I eat it cold.
It's so bad that if I wanted to take it to the pigs, they probably wouldn't even eat it.
Get out of here. It is so good. I eat it cold the next day. And it's basically like me and like 2 kids that eat it. And he's like, nope, don't put that near me. I'm like, so rude.
Oh.
Wait. What did he say? Wait, no, Robin was going to say something.
They got white sweet potatoes.
They have white sweet potatoes? Maybe you have a problem with the color.
What, does it
Maybe
taste?
you don't like orange sweet potatoes.
Does it taste like a sweet potato?
Mama used to grow.
Yeah, it does.
Then I don't like it. That's what I'm saying. My mom, as they like to say in Texas, bless her heart, she has tried everything you can possibly imagine. The only thing one time Monica made, what was it called? Trash or something like that?
Trash.
What was it called?
Okay, so it's like a Louisiana recipe where you take like pork, shredded pork, and you mix it with like mashed sweet potatoes, or not mashed, but like more like cubed, either sweet potatoes or like the butternut squash.
Boy, I'm
And
getting
you mix
bored
it
even
all in
listening
there.
to this. How
You mix
bad
it all
sweet
in there in the
potatoes is.
big skillet, and then you can add eggs on it. Anyway, he loves that. That's the only time. But usually it's butternut squash. It's not even sweet potatoes, really.
You gotta have the more.
And even at that, it was okay.
It was good. It's really
No.
good.
No,
But it's called trash. It's not really trash. It's not.
isn't that what it's called though?
No, I don't know what it's called.
Well, it should be called trash. How about that?
Our deer like it though. Every time we try to grow it, it starts to vine, and then she'll come in and go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's great that they like eating vegetables. Like my dad says, he gets his vegetables from eating cows and animals like that. So I'm fine with the sweet potatoes being shared with the deer and whatever else wants to eat it. But after that, look, we got somebody in the chat right here that's extremely intelligent. Little Ridge Farm,
Right there.
she's with me.
Well, look, Country Mama said raisins fix everything, Eric.
Okay,
Put some raisins there. She's just trying to get you to make that face like.
that's also disgusting.
I don't like raisins.
She just wants a t-shirt. That's why she's agreeing with you.
Say that again, Robin.
She just wants a t-shirt. That's why she's with you.
Well, look, saying anything about raisins, putting it on there, automatically, if you talk about sweet potatoes, raisins, things like that, you automatically are off the list for t-shirts.
I don't like raisins.
Take it to you. All right, take it. All right, my 4-year-old came in here. And he's
Yeah, I don't know with all the comments in here about raisins. I'm not really sure if people are down with the raisins or they're not.
probably
I'm not feeling it.
I can have, but raisins.
I like sour raisins. I don't like the sour.
My son likes the one that are sour. They have like a sour candy. I'm like, that's not. Then you're not eating healthy. It's sour candy like with raisins in the middle.
But it's
I like Raisinets. They're covered in chocolate. They're delicious. Just saying.
But we
Healthy.
do good with the sweet potatoes. We don't know how well we'll do. We'll see. They're kind of looking kind of sad because of the deer. But
Yeah.
he's trying to get to the potatoes too, and we're like, no, ma'am.
Our deer are pretty plump around here in the wintertime.
Well, yeah.
So like, maybe put one in the cold box. They only come out at 3:00 in the morning.
they're stubborn.
They're stubborn. You're lucky if you see them during the daytime
You sit out there and you
or the
just,
morning.
they just don't.
Man, take it to the cook.
Well, did you plant? I think I saw in your video you were saying you planted onions and cucumbers and lettuces and all that stuff. Now you're in Mississippi, right?
Yes, we're in
So-
8B, 9A.
Okay, so we're in 8A. So I know that you're a little bit different than us, but how are your onions doing? Did you how
Doing really well. My cucumbers were doing really well till the deer topped them. So my little boys, I'm lucky to have a lot of little boys to go outside and water the garden for me. That helps deter her. Yep.
Well, I just topped off all my onions. I like chopped them at the side.
I'm afraid to do that, but I'm afraid with the humidity here, if I did that, they're gonna go, ugh. So I didn't do it.
Well, I've never done it, and I was like so excited to do it the other day. So I was like, I felt like I was fancy, like the people in the videos, and I'm like moving things around, and I'm scooping around the outside, and I'm like, "You're such a beautiful onion." And then I like chopped off all the big tops, and I threw it in a big bin, and then I like dehydrated a bunch of the green tops, and I made a bunch of like green onion powder. It's not really a full powder because I didn't use my food processor. I didn't even use my Vitamix. I just used kind of like a little hand processor thing. So they're kind of like thicker, powdery stuff. But I'm super excited because I've got like almost a full, like, I don't know. I think I got a full jelly jar, one of the tall jelly jars full. And I only did 2 rounds of.
Chop and dehydrate them. They would probably dehydrate pretty quick.
Yeah, that's what we did with dehydrate. And then I have a bunch of like I was fancy like a farmer's life. But no, I have a bunch of them. So now I have like the chives, and the boys were like, "Ooh, we're making chives." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. We're being fancy."
Monica was in there cutting them up, and she had her pinky out.
Yeah, pinky up. No.
She was cutting.
Well, we were just talking on our podcast last night about how I'm not like the best gardener. Like I want to garden. I have a garden spirit. I know God wants me to garden, and I feel it. I feel strong, and I get in there and I'm all excited, but I'm kind of haphazard about what I do, and I don't really pay attention like I should. And so I just like will grab seeds like from, bolting things, like, your basil goes in bolts, and then you like grab the seeds, and I'll just like throw them in my garden. Like I'm sprinkling bread for the peasants or something. And I'm like, yes. And now I have all these like sprouted extra baby basils everywhere. So I was in the garden yesterday, and I'm like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You can just stay there, little baby basils, because I'm not pulling you out." But yeah.
Bottom of my seed box, there's just like, okay, I know what that one is. And I said, I told him, I said, I just need to throw this somewhere and just let it grow.
Yeah.
I did do a video where I was telling people, turn your black thumb green. Like, don't hold back to learn to grow something new, because like, I know what I can kill in the plant world. And don't be afraid to try it again. Like, for instance, tomatoes, we had our very first raised bed garden. They looked like Roots and Refuge's garden with the wood and everything. It was on the other side of our hill, but it had a lot of shade during the morning, and it did really well with tomatoes and peppers. However, where we put our gardens now, it's so hot all day till 4 o'clock maybe. It gets shade. So I learned personally, this is why I grow sunflowers. So I grow sunflowers in all the corners of the beds, pretty much. I love sunflowers. However, I use them to shade my beds as well. So that and I just like the prettiness of them anyway. But the leaves will stay for so long if you can keep them up with not a cane pole. It's a
little
bamboo stakes or whatever stakes you use. They will shade like your plants. And
now, can you use sunflowers because they are so tall? I know you said you can use them for shade. Can you use them for vining plants, like beans that need to pole and other vining plants like that?
I had the Luffa grow over and around, and
we had bees run up.
We have beans run up on. So if you could get the mammoth ones, now the mammoth ones can grow massive.
They have a stalk that's about 2 inches.
I had one that had a stalk. It was about almost 3 inches around one year, and it grew over 13 foot tall. That was my biggest sunflower ever, and it had the beans that were trying to go up it. So it's kind of like what they call the three sisters. Usually they do the corn the same way. You do the beans, and then the pumpkins or squash or whatever around that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was asking, because we were just discussing that on. We were recording. the podcast last night, and I was talking to some of the ladies on there, and we were discussing how to really, we were just discussing like taking care of your garden in the summer and some of the different ways you can help hold moisture in the ground and keep your plants surviving and thriving in the summer. And one of those ways was with the three sisters, which I didn't really realize how beneficial they were to one another, because the beans will help out the corn and the squash will offer shade and help retain the moisture. And it's really cool to kind of learn how to do those types of gardening techniques that have been done for so long. It's not something that it's something new to us, but it's not been new for anybody else. It's just been such an old way to do things. And it's pretty cool when you start to learn these old ways that need to be taught to other people because they're so, they're new to them. But yeah, what did Country Mama?
Yeah, I was going to say, is this real? Can you do this?
Yeah. I want to use my sunflower stalks from last year to trellis my beans this year. I mean, I imagine you can.
Garden, they're hollow. So when you cut them, they have a hollow center. When they get really big, they're really tough. They're hard to pull out the ground, the big ones. It's kind of like a cane pole. But they wind up rotting. So they might not last but maybe one season, but they would help. You could do it that way.
Sorry, Monica had to run out. The kids are out there, and we all of a sudden heard the fire alarm.
Oh no!
That's good. We have fire extinguishers.
Yes.
So here's a question from Callie Homesteading with Pooh Bear, talking about potatoes. When the leaves start growing, do I put more soil over it?
Pretty much every have a spurt. So ours broke through, and then when you first put them in, you're going to want to put fertilizer, cover the fertilizer, put the potato. Wait for it to grow through, and then when it gets half foot tall, you kind of cover it.
You got to keep them covered that way because they like the darkness. Keep
and
the dirt pulled up on them.
Each branch will actually create more potatoes. So if you could keep, like ours, we're not able to keep them really covered real good. We can mound around it. We would love to mound really high, but for instance, that's why people like growing in grow bags with them. They like growing in like big pots, container pots, because all you gotta do is just fill that dirt and it'll keep growing out of the dirt and make more potatoes.
Yeah, there was a comment here. I want to put it back up. So this is Alicia over at Country Mama Musings. She said that she'll make a TP frame with those stalks, I guess.
Yeah. I've been wanting to make a TP frame to try some different beans. You know how you have the 15 bean soup. Our friends from Southern Bless Homestead mentioned it. I said, yeah, that'd be kind of cool to do a TP system and plant all these different beans around it and just to see for fun. Some will grow up and vine, and then the rest will bush out to see what you can grow. You do cucumbers that way, any squash really, peas, all that good stuff.
So Callie is now asking, with the straw, can she use it from the chicken coop?
Straw from for poop, you have to let it rest. If you're talking about the straw that you pull out that has the chicken manure on it, it needs to compost down a lot. I have before, though, when I've had a new bed, I have gotten like a barely, a little bit of a scoop, not to where the because it's so much ammonia and high nitrogen content. It could damage your plants. But you could put just handfuls of it and then put dirt. It can help, but usually you need to let it rest and compost down. So if you can put it in a pile, put straw and flip it, or have a pile. Even if you don't flip it, have a pile like away from your area, because it kind of can get potent. And let it compost down and let it cover hay. And within a year, you should be able to use it. But I would not directly use it. I've been told not to use it in your garden. The only thing I've known that you could use directly is rabbit manure. You can use that directly in your garden. You can use cow manure. You could. My friend taught me how to make a tea. Well, it's not that you drink, but you put a poop in a 5-gallon bucket and you let it sit for 1 or 2 days in the sun. and then you keep adding water. So what I do is, I've been trying it this year. I put it in there, and then I get like a watering can. So I put a little bit of that compost cow tea for the garden in the water can, and then I dilute it, and then I water the garden. You want to be careful still with any compost. With tomatoes, they're such delicate, crazy little plants. You want to water around it and not over it, because some plants do not like any type of manure touching them, like from anywhere.
No, I'm the same way.
Hey, let me ask. This is interesting, actually, because I was thinking of Yogi Hollow with this. We were talking. This is a long time ago now, but do you all have any like pine trees or anything down there where you are?
Yes,
we have some.
we have a few. We cut down a lot when we moved up here.
Do you ever use the needles for anything?
I don't use the needles for medicinal, because I'm not sure on that end of it. The medicinal side, I'm still learning that. I know you have to have like 5. It has to have 5 sprigs, but we just have true southern pines here.
She did use them to cover the garlic.
Yes, the garlic over the winter.
And we'll put it in the dog yards and stuff, in the dog houses during the winter, so we don't have to waste our hay.
Chickens is not good for chickens.
But
it's not good for them to really kind of have.
We hadn't found a real good use for the straw yet.
We don't get that much, but I have covered my onions, like to keep when they first come up. When you have them in the fall, you cover your onions real good with them. They'll still branch through, but it kind of keeps them kind of semi-warm in the soil.
There is a small short straw pine. It's got little short needles on it.
Yeah.
And they say you can make some kind of tea and stuff out of those, but we don't have any of those.
It's supposed to be high in calcium.
So that's why I was asking, though, is because I guess what I was getting at was, if you didn't have straw or hay, could you use that to put over top of your potatoes? Because I had heard that somewhere along the line, I don't know if it was with conversation with Yogi Hollow or somewhere else, about the acidity, or there was something in it that was hard for the ground to grow grass. And so this is the comment that Lisa had just put up, that pine needle tea people make. Pigs can't eat the green ones, or they can abort pregnancy.
Now, if you use needles, I would add, like people do the big like metal wire cages. So you would do dirt, and you would kind of side the sides with the pine needles, and then you plant some potatoes, put some pine needles, and then you'd add more dirt, more potatoes, and then they would kind of grow in this tower. I've seen them do it that way too.
Okay.
For people who don't have a lot of space, can like vertical grow their potatoes.
Yeah. So specifically, yeah, that's what. So I see some chat going back and forth about the green ones or the brown ones. I'm referencing the brown ones because of where I live in Texas. In the winter, they're great, but there is definitely a lot of needle droppings.
We use it mainly for covering like the fall. We didn't do much last year, but the year prior, but last year we did the garlic, and that's what I used it for. It's like a mulch over the onions.
Now, a pine sap, if you got a bleeding tree, you can pinch that off. If you got a cold or something, you get a chew on it.
That's what his mama used to do.
Mama and daddy used to do that. So it's
chew
just
the
like
sap.
A little thing, like a little gumball, and just chew on it for a little bit. Kind of just
that was her old one.
Soothe the throat, what have you. But they were old fashioned. So.
I always look this stuff up because that was his mom's old remedy.
It seems like a lot of times the old folks really had it going on. I remember as a kid, we used to see like kombucha and stuff like that on my grandmother's table, the mother or whatever you call that, the hotel or motel. I don't know. The time that I need Monica here to help me understand what I'm saying, and she's not here to support me. But yeah, she put fires out. But anyway, in the old days, that's what you would see. And I remember as a kid, I would see things that I would just be like, no, that's gross. I'm not touching that. And, nowadays, especially with Monica, she is truly, a homeopathic type of person in the way she thinks. And so a lot of the things we do are the things that were done in the old days that we thought our grandparents were crazy for.
I saw where let me see, where did it go? Lazy Day. Jesse said that it's good for a campfire starter. I tell you what,
It sure is.
that's good, but we've also learned that loofahs are a good fire starter. We're about to do a video, which we were beyond impressed with. I'm like, wow, and I never knew that actually, like, the dried loofahs can start a fire.
Because Levi likes to.
He likes to start little
He likes to try
campfires.
campfires. Likes to try different stuff like flint and steel,
Learn how to learn.
campfire. He's trying to be like a survivalist. I guess. Try stuff. So we said, let's try Luffa. So we just pulled around with it one day. It worked good, so we got to make a video.
We're about to make a video on that. I was like, that is cool. I didn't know how well of a fire starter those were till just now.
Okay, I'll have to get you one.
Like the pine needles are good fire starters too because they hold that sap in there and it can kind of sizzle. Kind of like what do you call it? The pine at the root.
The lighter
Knots from the roots, and you can keep those for fire starter.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out. Well, first of all, I wanted to ask before I say anything else. Are you all ready for Robin? Are you ready for bed?
He's all right, but he's getting there. I love
Well, when you're ready, you let us know. I don't want to hold you past your time. I will not take you past 9:30. Or are you Central Time as well?
They're same as us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to hop off now?
No, we can talk a little longer if you like, real quick.
Okay.
We're answering y'all's questions.
So one thing I wanted to ask was, what do you do with loofah? Because for the life of me, I still can't figure out why people want to grow loofah.
You wash your body with them.
All right, so
You don't wash your body?
It's not about whether I do or don't wash my body.
Look at all her loofahs.
Yes, why do you need that much? Are you guys like bathing 10 times a day?
20% of it. So what I do, I like to wash my dishes with it. It's good for your cast iron.
That's a good idea.
You can cut it. You can cut it into pieces, some people cut them into like little, not quarters, but half-inch pieces, and they make soap for your face, like a scrubby soaps. But I cut them in like about 3-inch sections, and I wash dishes. You can wash your counter. If you cut them like this, and then you cut them in half, that would be like for scrubbing your face or your back and so on. I wash my eggs with them. It's easy to get the poop off an egg.
Ooh.
A lot easier than like a wash rag. So you just wet it and you kind of can scrub the egg a little bit. You don't want to take all the bloom off if you're the kind of person, but it still cleans them really well. And I like scrubbing my counters with them. Anything that gets kind of... He's used some outside before when he's had grease on his hands. I had an old one and he scrubbed it. Kind of works as a natural scrubby too. And you can always reuse it. And when they kind of start losing their quality after they dry, what happens is they're not going to be as stiff anymore. They're going to be a lot looser. They're compostable, so you could toss them in your compost bin. You can use it as a fire starter, or but just to clean them, you just put in a little bit of bleach water, and they're clean each time.
All right, so I don't know.
Chuck said put a little sugar and milk on it, eat like shredded wheat.
There's some, I don't understand what people are. I mean, right now I'm not getting this because, I asked the question and it was, it was made like I asked the most ridiculous question because you bathe with them. Now people are talking about eating them. I mean, you can scratch your back with it. I mean, look, I knew you could throw it in the compost. That's where I put all my sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes and loofah can go in the compost.
And they're really, so when they're about the size of a small cucumber, they're about yay big and maybe about this bit, round. They're like squash. It's a squash basically, but it's a gourd, but it's in the squash family. So it's like eating squash. So you can fix it like squash. I hadn't done it yet. I was going to do it last year, but every time I would go out there, I'll get this little one. By the time I went out there, everything else I had to do, it was already big. I'm like, well, gotta wait. So we're going to try this time. Do not eat. And it's only when they're little, so you're not going to want them to eat them when they're like
I'm not going to eat it.
huge or long. They can grow. This is a big one here.
All right. So what you're telling me then is next time that I get drug into Bed Bath and Beyond, because those loofahs in there are only that big, those are the ones that I want to go ahead and start munching on. I just
When they're like a cucumber, like a squash, like a little zucchini, a small zucchini. When they're fresh, you eat them.
Tom's got to be desperate for that to happen.
That's when they don't have all their, I guess, the texture quality of the veining of the loofah. When it gets to this point, it has to be brown, and then you take it off the vine, you let it dry, and then you have to let it dry for so long, and then it sounds like a rain stick when the seeds are ready, and then the loofah's ready to take out of the husk of the loofah gourd.
So just out of curiosity, if you use them on the exterior of your body to scrub your body, if you swallow pieces of it, is it like deworming you?
So bad.
I'm just,
so rude. No,
I'm just asking. I don't know.
No, kind of like
So when you
want to scrub
wash
your teeth?
armpits and you take a bite in the shower.
Well, look, I mean, that's multi-purpose. Why aren't they selling these like this? There's a market for this, I'm seeing.
yeah. So
Brush your teeth with this if you had it like made to brush.
Could you?
You probably could.
I mean, look, I don't know that I've actually ever seen a real loofah in a store, because usually it's just like those puff balls with the little string on
you've
them.
seen loofahs.
There are sponges that are sea sponges. They're a little bit different. So a loofah, it looks like this veiny texture, and it's got like where the seeds were, kind of like where you would look in a pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Now the sea sponges, which people ask me all the time, oh, I thought they came from the sea. I'm like, no, that's a sea sponge. It looks totally different. It looks like a sponge with kind of like a old
Here's a bigger Snoopy.
what?
Well,
It's a reef type like thing.
yeah.
Mama, there's a bigger
So if you're growing, my thought is if you're growing loofah, and then you've got the squash and the zucchini in your garden, can I use loofah plants as a sacrificial plant for my vine borers and all my squash bugs that want to destroy everything else?
You can, but they do not kill them. They will not. I had them so bad last year. Sorry, Liam's coming into the picture. I had them so bad last year that my squash that I did have, they killed it all. And then the loofah just stood the faith of time. And I think it was October or November when I pulled that joker out.
So they won't kill it, but
Sit right here.
I think he was trying to. I don't know if they like
I
it.
mean a picture.
It didn't really
I don't
go
think it's
for it
gonna
like a
take away
squash.
from your squash.
I mean a TV.
Oh, Gwen said no, bugs don't hurt loofah. Apparently loofah is like the cockroach of the garden, and nothing can kill it.
It's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's weird.
Well,
No, don't die unless you get a machete. It's true. They will not die unless you rip them out of the garden.
Well, and she's from New York, so we don't want to test that one.
No, yeah. She from the East Coast. She will. She knows about that stuff. She probably has her machete
Now,
somewhere.
like your tricks for the squash, I have tried, which helped for a little while. You take tinfoil and you wrap the base of the plant. You kind of dig it away and wrap it to kind of keep the vine borers from going into the stem of the squash. It kind of helps prolong it, get into it.
Okay, so do you guys have poison hemlock? And if so, how do you get rid of it?
We don't.
On and try not to touch it.
That's talking about.
That's that white. It looked like Queen's Endlace. I told you it was hemlock. It was very poisonous.
Oh,
You don't want to breathe it in. He waited till it was right before it dried, because I said you don't want it wet getting you. You don't want it dry. He had a bush hog, like not touch it, like that kind of get rid of it.
but you keep it cut down, just like anything else. Poison ivy and poison cement. Keep it cut down.
Mackenzie, can you go get your little brother a Band-Aid for his foot?
But you got to cut it. You don't want to spread the seeds like so. Jap grass they call it. I call it sawgrass. A little white fuzzy top. Just keep it cut. Eventually it'll
We
die.
noticed it last year in our low spot of our property. We were trying to do a pond later, and I was like, "That's not Queen's Anne lace. It was hemlock." But
I forgot.
you gotta be very careful with it. I know it's very. I'm very sensitive on my skin. He used to could pull like poison sumac. He could grab it for a certain time and yank it and pull it out, and it doesn't really bother him like his dad. But I can't touch nothing. I'll break out.
Yeah, that's Eric. Okay, so can you throw young loofah to your chickens as a snack? I mean, I imagine.
Yes, they eat it like a squash.
Yeah, see, I imagine you could.
Like they will peck the soft parts out because if it is, even if it's big and it died, I've thrown one in there and they just pick the soft portions out because it does have like the little bit that the veining is the loofah. Sometimes they leave it out, and every once in a while when it's like you have a rain, you can kind of see the pieces of the loofah. Here, from Sissy.
Or we have to fix them up by get the Band-Aid.
So no, Yogi Hollow, Lisa, we were talking about Carmen, the other New Yorker that comes in here and frequents our chats. We got two East Coast girls here that you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, there's turf war now. We started something.
Yeah. So poor Jennifer said it's that hemlock's popping up all over her new property, and she said,
I don't think it's taking it out by the root, but then that means you have to touch it, so it's kind of tricky.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it's a new property, you don't have nothing planted yet, you could probably
Yeah.
spray with some kind of strong poison, but then you're killing
Any other
everything
big
else. So, and then that's not.
I know one thing that will kill anything would be gasoline. Will kill any plant, any bug that's in the area. That's the only thing, but you don't want to do too much with that.
Yeah. Well, that was another thing, though. Yogi Hollow said you could make Luffa a chicken feed. That's a great way, like you said, to supplement some of the feed that you've got. Because, feed bills go up. It's nice to be able to give these plants that obviously you can grow, especially if they grow like crazy. Maybe someone can grow Luffa and then, use it as a alternative feed source for their animals, because you do need to supplement feed sometimes, especially when you're paying.
Yes, you'll keep getting Loofah all year long. Like if you plant in March or April, they'll go to, depending on your area, I'm sure, because when it does frost, it will kill the leaves and make the plant kind of that very first cold snap we got, the plant kind of wilted off, and so it is not very cold hardy. Cold can kill it, and it will kill the loofah, the gourd itself. So just depending on your time frame, yeah.
Oh, I might be able to try to grow some of that. Carmen's gonna try to keep me from doing it. She's gonna warn me. Don't do it.
Hold on.
Well, the thing is that if there's a benefit to it, and it sounds like there's quite a benefit, you get to wash your body, you get to clean your insides out, you feed it to animals.
Yeah, there
put
you
it
go.
in your compost. It seems like it's a pretty valuable.
Yeah, we should grow some
plant,
loofah.
But it also seems like it's a lot like bamboo, right? Like once you put it there, it just keeps on going.
Well, somebody else said it's like mint.
It keeps coming back because it spreads.
Yeah.
Loofah just spreads because it binds to everything, but you can kill it by just jerking it out of the ground. Now bamboo will keep coming back.
Loofah's like kudzu.
Not quite that
Not
extent.
aggressive as kudzu, but it's kind of like kudzu.
But it's strong. It's up in there. It's up with the bamboo.
And see, that's a really great idea. Kenny and Angie said, Abundant Acres said, maybe it's a good idea to plant in your chicken pen. So if you don't have free range chickens and you're trying to get some supplemental things, that's something that you might be able to plant in there.
Good idea. What I thought of, have a caged area for your chickens. A lot of people put the tops on. You can let it grow over the top and it provides shade.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that with a lot of people's trellised. I think Carmen had this gorgeous trellised loofah one year, and it was so pretty. And look, Bro Cowgirl says my loofah trellis looks like a Boggy Creek monster after the first freeze. I guess it got all frosty.
Gross.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say.
See, Carmen's got some. Look, she's like, I got stuff.
Well, I was going to say that if you did do it in a trellis, because Yogi Hollow said that the chickens would eat it before, is that you could always put a fence around it, and then once it grows up, then because I'm assuming that they hang, right? And
they're pretty good. They don't break really unless they don't. They're
They
pretty tough.
got a hardy vine, and if they You have to literally
the stem
cut them
of
off. You
it.
can't just pick them.
The stem of it that attaches to the loofah is pretty thick.
Okay.
It won't ever really break unless something really. You can't even twist it. Like, you know how you would twist a cucumber off? No, you have to literally get a knife and cut it, or pruning shears or something.
So maybe it is one of those beneficial plants where you can grow it outside of your chicken pen or near it, and then you can kind of vine it towards the chicken pen.
Yeah.
It's a great privacy fence. I can tell you that. If you can make it grow down your fence line and you want privacy, that thing will make you better make sure that the top of the fence can hold the weight of the vine, though.
That might be really cool to grow that along the back of the pasture fence. I mean, I'm not trying to ruin our fence, but man, that'd be kind of cool to have all that. Maybe it would keep some of the critters from coming back off the back pasture. Because it kind of gets thick, right? Do you think it could be a good barrier for like animals coming through the? So we have like a fence line.
What kind of animal are you trying?
Like if the animals
like a coyote,
like a coyote that's trying to
jump over top of it.
It's not going to jump over it. It's going to be all vined up on the trees that are around it too. I don't know.
Take over everything. It's kind of like a wisteria vine.
And it does get heavy. So I had one get longer than this one. And it's heavy, so it will hang, and it's real heavy. So whatever you put it on, make sure it has like a top support. Or if you did the trellis like I did, it hung well on those. But anywhere else it goes, it does get heavy.
Wait a minute! I just saw Robin.
Can you feed it?
I just saw Robin chuck one of those at the kids. I'm assuming. So they're it would fake me out, but that right there—that's another benefit.
Fetch for the kids.
Nerf darts.
There you go. See, now I'm starting to see the value in this. Where'd Chuck and Belinda go?
Be natural, like water balloons, and you throw them at the kids.
There you go.
Nobody gets hurt.
No one gets hurt with those, and they won't burst. Just keep re-soaking them.
Oh my gosh. Can you feed Loofah to quail? I mean, I imagine you could, right? I mean, they would probably peck at it the same as ducks and chickens and all the other poultry.
Squash like chickens do. I don't have quail, but they probably would. They're finicky little creatures, though, quail sometimes.
Okay, well, look, we are up against 9:30, and I want to be
cow.
Oh.
I haven't fed it to my cows.
I bet you my cows would eat it.
I wouldn't do the loofah sponge itself because
they might eat the vine.
The hold on, sweetie. The sponge is still intact. I'm not sure how they could digest something that coarse, that would go through their system.
Well, yeah, I think that for me, the cows would probably just eat the leaves. They'd be more interested in eating the leaves.
Yeah, they probably would eat before it even got the plants, the fruit on there.
They can in mommy's room.
I think
your ones.
What is it?
Like with the lady said with the poison, the best really way to really give it is just to cut it, if you can, between a certain of its stage. I wouldn't burn it, wouldn't touch it. Just see if you can cut it with protection.
Yeah.
Now, I'll say right here, this is low-key bragging.
Yeah.
That was my son. Sorry.
Carmen says she hasn't bought a kitchen sponge in over 2 years. Yeah.
Now he's just rubbing it in. See?
No, that's not Carmen. That's Nathan. Sorry, Nathan.
I had one it was almost a year before I changed it because it's kind of getting yucky. Like it wasn't as scrubby. It was getting kind of soft.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, we're going to let you go. I know it's getting late. We certainly appreciate you coming in here. Anybody that's in here right now that hasn't had a chance to go check them out.
His leg was getting a little. He had to stand up.
That's okay. I know he's got an early schedule, and we're going to stick to it. I'm all about sticking to times.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna post your link that way everybody can kind of check you out and make sure everybody's going to GossMania Homestead to check them out. I'm super excited for you guys to keep watching these videos, for me to keep watching the videos, and for everyone here to go check them out. They're like really close to 2,000.
Yeah, we're just I think 47 away. It's not bad. We're going to do our 2,000 sub giveaway too pretty soon once we reach that point. We're trying to get some goodies together to give away.
Maybe some t-shirts.
Yeah, some t-shirts.
There you go. That's cool. Well, your channel is so worthy of being watched because it is a really fun channel to watch and you feel like you're really getting to know you. And when you get to know a channel and you're kind of watching the journey of the family, especially such a faith-filled family like you, it just really means a lot and it's really cool. So thank you for sharing your journey with us because there are a lot of people out here that need encouragement. And you are definitely a family that is doing that. So I think it's pretty awesome. And I love watching your lives. And I love watching. I'm a live replayer. I replay a lot of lives. But I'm really thankful that you have a channel and that you're sharing that with us because it's pretty cool to see you all in action.
Well, you're welcome. And we appreciate the comments and the hospitality and getting to know y'all. Maybe one day we'll get to meet in person.
There you go. We're not too far. Mississippi isn't too far.
I know. And you can learn as I learn with the medicinal sides of. I actually have my cotton coming up now, so that's like a homeschoolish thing for my kids and something I never grown. So
yes, that's so cool. Well, yeah, enjoy. And I hope keep posting good videos like that where I can see what you're doing with the kids too, because that's always fun to see what other moms, homeschool moms are doing. So we'll have to have you on again sometime in the future so that we can chat maybe homeschool things or other stuff, maybe some of the things after your garden season is over, what you've done and maybe what you'll do differently. We'll have to come back and follow up and see how your 18 acres of potatoes went.
Comments too. Sometimes you don't think about who really watches you as a YouTuber. I just throw videos out there when, like I said, when you said you prayed for us and everything. I was like, oh, it's like really humbling. It was a real blessing to like, oh, people actually are care about us and they're there for us. They're not just saying, hey, I love the video. People actually do care and they're sweet. And
that's our goal. We like just people to get a message from it and just learn something from it.
And we appreciate everybody supporting us and we hope our friends support you back and we appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Bye, little guy. Bye.
Bye.
I hope
Bye.
properly.
Yeah. He's okay. Say night.
Good night.
All right.
Thank you all again so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
God bless.
Thank you.
You
See ya.
too. Bye-bye.
Oh, he was saying something. Poor Robin. Thank you guys so much. I love them. I think they're awesome.
And then don't leave yet. We're not done until 10 now.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We're still around.
Unless
we
you
just
don't,
want to make sure.
Unless you're not here to listen to us, you were just here for them.
Yeah, if you were just here for them, that's totally fine. We won't judge you. It's not a problem. We don't care. It's okay. But if you're here for us too, stick around. Yeah, we're still on for a little 20 more minutes, I guess. Right?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I made notes for our guests. I made notes. I did the notes this time. Like I had questions written down. I had to run off because of the weird smoke alarm thing. Our 10-year warranty, kitty, whatever. It's like a smoke detector and it's a like carbon monoxide thing. It's like a 10-year warranty on it. And it's really good because it like talks to you too. Like it has the voice. So it not just goes to like the beep, 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 beep. But anyway, it has like a 10-year warranty, right? So I was all excited when I got it a few years ago. It was made in 2019. Okay. So it's not even that old. And when it starts beeping like that, it's because it's low battery.
Yeah.
Well, you can't replace the battery. It's a lithium ion battery that's embedded into it. And it says when it starts beeping on low battery, you just have to like disable it and then get a new one. It says replace the thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to replace the thing. I'm going to call you up and you're going to give me a brand new one, people. Because there's no 10-year warranty on this. I mean, there is a 10-year warranty and it didn't do 10 years. It did just a few. So yeah, I was a little shocked. So, so Jerusha's still going to hang out here a little bit while Robin's headed to bed. So yay.
Well, we really appreciate that. One thing, that I did want to talk about, it was actually on Yogi Hollow live probably about a month ago now. We were talking about being prepared. And I didn't get a chance to talk about this last week, but we were, the idea, it's because you were just killing me with the tiller thing. I had people at work ask me about tillers. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway, what we were talking about though in Yogi Hollow.
Luffa sweet potato stew. Maybe that's some rice, Eric's nightmare.
No, it's disgusting. Anyway, I would try Loofah. I would, but okay, stay focused.
To eat it or scratch your back?
Look, honestly, and I am not joking when I say this, being 100%.
Alicia said you
real.
could use it as toilet paper too.
No.
Hey.
Okay.
He was a
Anyway,
corn cob back in the
No.
day, right?
I don't know. Did they?
That's what your dad said.
He's not that old. Why are you listening? You know, come on.
That's what he said.
You can't listen to everything people
Oh,
say.
look, we need to make a note of this. Robin knows everything, anything when it comes to tractors and tillers. Make a note. Robin's the guy. We have questions about it. Robin's the guy.
That's good to know.
Was it tillers or hoes, Eric? Tell the truth. It was tillers.
It was definitely tillers. Okay. Anyway, but no, for real. Just, and I know I joke around a lot when we watch or when we have. I try to keep it light. Okay. There's enough seriousness in this world that you try to keep it light. And with what they were saying, it seems like a loofah really can be beneficial to have on your farm.
Yeah.
Because there really is so many different benefits to having it. And one of the things about that, I think, going back to Yogi Hollow Farm, when we were talking about being prepared, one of the things that I had mentioned was knowing what you need ahead of time. And so obviously within a budget, within a budget, you can't just go out and buy everything that you want at one time. You can't do that. Right. So if
Country Mama, you are not that old anyway.
If you're looking at your farm and you're trying to prepare for the future, you're trying to estimate everything you need. So for example, and the reason why it was brought up was because Lisa was riding all over South Dakota, maybe even going into, Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana. She was all over the place trying to find a trough for her turkeys. And, that's something that you don't think about. And that's why I was trying to bring to the forefront that if you know that you have a project you're working on, you need to be way out in front, like, 6 months, maybe preparing, looking at how long does it take to get these parts? How long does it take to get this equipment? Because if you know for sure that you're going to need it. Now, obviously that's the hard part is you don't know everything you're going to need. So you can't always have everything and you always don't follow up with the plans that you have.
I feel like if we ever really need something though, we could like tap into Yogi Hollow and just call Ryan and be like, hey dude, is there some place around here we can get some cheap stuff? Because he's got like skills. He's got like mad, like not yard sailing skills. It's like auction skills.
Yeah.
He's like the guy.
Yeah.
He is the guy.
Well, look,
that you're going to call and be like, where's the local auction that's going to be good stuff?
Right. But see that, and that's where you have to learn how to think outside the box because
everyone's growing Loofah soap.
Okay. I'm trying to say something.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying is that's where we have to learn how to use our mind and not be afraid to get our hands dirty. Most people aren't, and in this chat, aren't afraid to get their hands dirty because you live on a homestead, you're gardening, you're doing those sorts of things, but you position yourself around people that are really smart like that so that you can have them do things. It's just like, on some of our videos, I'm actually considering adding a new segment to our channel, which I hadn't said anything new yet, but it's something along the lines of what Dad does.
How does this tie into Luffa real quick? Nathan wants to know. He's just feeling.
What?
He's questioning. How does this tie into Luffa? How does this whole conversation tie into Luffa?
Well, because we were, okay.
I didn't ask it. Nathan did.
That's messed up, man. I was on a roll. He's a pastor. He should know when you get on a roll, you just let him go.
He was on, he rabbit trailed. Sorry.
Okay. The reason why I was bringing up about the preparedness thing is because we all talk about food shortages, right? Yep. We talk about feed shortages. We're talking about ways to think outside the box to stretch every bag of feed that you buy to the fullest extent. I'm sorry, am I boring you?
No, I'm like frustrated because I'm seeing all this too. Like all these things are getting so hard to get, and it makes sense because I'm agreeing with you.
So if
my brain's working ahead of you, sorry.
If you have something like, because I wouldn't put those loofahs on the back, but who's to say up here on the street where it's just a fence. Yeah. So to me, you try to utilize every inch of your farm or every inch of your yard or whatever you have. But yeah, I mean, exactly. This does help a sustainability thing because, the simple or the most common things, right? Like washing your body, washing dishes, which I didn't really think about that part either. But so those are some of the more common things. But to know that you can eat it, to know that that they have a lot of seeds that you can feed to your animals, to know that they're very robust in their growth,
Mm-hmm.
to know that, because I mean, that's the thing, especially if you find something that you can use for your animals that they like, and or it fills their belly or gives them a nutrition that maybe they can't get with wherever they are. I mean, that's preparation, right?
Yeah.
That's getting ready for things. And here's the thing too. Let's just go under the assumption that there is no food shortage, there is no feed shortage, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the objective of homesteading, is to find ways to not have to keep utilizing like store-bought things? Isn't that kind of the
put and take?
Well, yeah, I mean,
where you have to keep using outside sources you can't live sustainably if you're constantly taking from outside sources to put in. You need to be able to grow and take from your own, and resourcefulness be back where you are, either within your community or within your own farm. Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, and that's the idea, right?
Yeah. That's the idea of homesteading.
If you know about a plant that it's kind of like some of the stuff that we have in our garden. It's not necessarily that we love it or that we want it.
Yeah.
But some of those herbs and things are the things that are supposed to help some plants grow and or keep certain insects away. So you just start planting them.
Tony's right there with you. Look, I actually am seeing where Eric is going, because it is important to know the versatility of the items we have in our homes, because they may need to be something other than what it was intended for.
Right.
Yeah. He just took the long way around it. He is a pastor, like it's in his blood. Like he's a preacher by nature. So he takes the long way around sometimes.
Or maybe I was just
he laps the pulpit a few times before he gets to the pulpit and starts getting
I was just glad I had a few minutes. I don't know what you were doing. You must have been zoning out, because you let me go for at least 30 minutes.
Well, like I will admit, like 30 seconds into your conversation, I zoned out. I'm so sorry.
Wait, what?
But I was reading and stuff, and they kept me going. Jesus Loving Homestead. Carmen says you need your own day lives for Eric Talks Reality. That'd be for those people that work night shift and they have to fall asleep during the day, and they turn them on. They're like, Eric Talks Reality is so smart.
What are you talking about? Robin was just listening to me. He probably passed out already.
He did. Jerusha kept it on so he could hear, and he's like, thanks, girl. Thanks, honey. I love this. And Robin's like, I'm gonna fall asleep to their Thursday Night Lives every week. He's like, they're not really funny. Eric just puts me to sleep. What is a lap around lap that pulpit? Hashtag put it on a T.
What's up?
Oh, look. There's the commiserating here. Nathan says, I completely understand that. I was just messing with him. He was doing a great job filling airtime. Yeah, see? That's what he was doing.
Look at what Jesse said.
Sometimes you have to let the dog run until his chain runs out. Thank you for putting it that way too, Jesse. I get it. Nathan's serving are great, but I zone out. Sometimes it's a wife husband thing. Oh, look, Alicia's back. She's awake. Hey, Alicia, how are you? It's okay. Eric just said you need to know the versatility of things in your home, because you might have to use them for something they're not originally intended with.
I didn't
that
say
was
that.
The
Jesse
fantastic.
said
No,
that.
that was Tony from Kettle Kitchen.
I mean, Tony, yeah.
He put all of the big basket of stuff that Eric was carrying, and he unloaded. And Tony was like, "Here, buddy, let me throw that in my little basket of tricks." And Tony was like, "Here," and he like gave it to me. I will say Tony is like ruthless, because yeah, she's on a mission with these teas. Tony's ruthless because he posts stuff. See, Eric doesn't see Instagram hardly. Tony, he doesn't really see Instagram. So when you're tagging me in all these really fun reels of you making all these amazing food things, I literally think I gained 5 pounds this week just watching all your reels. It's not fair. Not fair. But I will say, if you haven't checked him out, Kettle Kitchen, go check him out on Instagram. He posts all these like amazing like reels and stuff of like all this amazing food. I'm like, dude, we need to visit him. I need to like eat, but then I don't want to.
Have I ever told you how much I really, really like Lisa?
Don't worry, Eric. I listened in completely, and you made good points. I know.
I didn't hear you. Can you read that?
Last week, she did say she was Team Monica. I'm just going to remind you. We can replay that later.
I'm going back.
Go for it. Jesus loving pastor. Oh, yeah, Nathan. A 15-minute sermon in a paragraph. That's what Tony just did. He was like, hey, bud, let me help you out. Tony came alongside Eric and just narrowed it down a little bit. That's not fair. Wait. That's not fair. Your calling is listening. Your livelihood listening. Yeah. Right, Carmen, it becomes a thing. Yeah, with those teas, it's a thing now. It really did become a thing. Hashtag put it on a tea. It became a thing.
Anyway, so that's as I said.
Incompletely. Wait.
That being said, the points that I made and wonderfully summed up by Tony, but
lack that pulpit.
What is the items out there that you need, and how long does it take to get them? Because now is the time you want to take to prepare for winter. Yeah. And that's the hardest thing about homesteading is you have to be a season ahead. You can't play from behind.
Well, I think it's hard too, because if you're especially if you're like a social media homesteader where you do check social media and you watch YouTube and you're looking at Instagram and stuff, it can get scary out there. There are a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, it's going to be really hard to get wheat. It's going to be really hard to get hay. It's going to be really hard to get this. Dark winter. There you go. Y'all said it, dark winter. But here's the thing. It gets really hard to stay positive and focused. And I think that's why Jesus is like our focus on that, because it can get discouraging and a little scary. Because you do have to play ahead of the game as a farmer, as a homesteader. You've got to know how to take care of your animals ahead of time. So we're, in that sense, already prepping because we've already have to prepare ahead of the game, but it can get kind of scary. It can get kind of ominous if you don't have the Lord kind of settling you down and saying, hey, chill.
Yeah. So to answer this question from Carmen, I think for me, my favorite part is knowing that we're basically self-sufficient. The preparation, the planning, having everything lined out and ready to go is.
You're good, Tony. It's fine. We love it.
No.
I love it.
I think it's great. It's participation, and I appreciate that. But
okay, now I need to look at this. Come out to play. Wait, is that like Chucky? Are you Chucky enemy with the come out to play?
Anyway, but no, I think that's I don't know. The whole homesteading thing is not easy. It's a lot of work for sure. And I think that's what we have to remember, especially as being, as Naked Gardeners say,
that's what we do.
Content creators, because sometimes we put other things above what we're doing in the garden for the sake of being monetized or for the sake of having a video ready for the week or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I know, and I'm speaking to myself when I say that, because there was times where I wasn't doing things because I was trying to record things. And you get to a certain point and you're like, if you record it, you record it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
Because filling my freezer or filling up the pantry is a higher priority than anything else.
So to speak to what Caleb is pointing out, because Caleb, our son here, he knows kind of what we've got and what we don't. That I don't know if you know this or not, but I bought the filters to make a plastic version of the Berkey water filter. So Alicia over at Country Mama Musings did a video on making your own Berkey water filter. Hey, Sandy, how are you tonight? And so I'm actually taking that, as well as another video that I saw of a gentleman that made the same filter, but with plastic 5-gallon buckets, the ones that are food grade, and we're going to use those. I have everything that I need except for, I think, another little piece that I'm going to buy. I just was kind of waiting. I even bought the big expensive filters, and I'm going to buy a set of backup filters before they get outrageous in price. But we are going to have that. And so because we're using 5-gallon buckets, it'll be able to hold a good amount of water as a water filtered source of, a way to filter our water. And we're going to try it with the water catchment, as well as I'd like to try it with, dare I say it, with the pond water at some point, because I want to make sure it works, and I want to know that it works and not wait until the last minute and say, oh, we've got the stuff to put it together. So that's something that I have intentional to do for the summer. That's something I want to have done for the summer. So I'm going to get it all put together. So I'm excited to be able to do it that way and to try something new. So yes, pure water purification is in the works. We have the water catchment, we have all those things, but we definitely need to have some more than just the little, life straws, because I've even thought about getting the water bottles for the kids. The ones, they have these ones that are actual like water bottles that have like the life straw type of thing in it. So when you suck through it, and they're not real expensive. You get them in combo packs, but for the amount of people we have, I thought about having that and then trying that. So yeah, the Berkey, I heard they're great, and I want to kind of do what I need. Not a burpee water filter.
Well, he knows you, so he probably knows that
So
you're...
I drink these filtered water, these carbonated waters, and then I start like burping. It's so bad. That pond water is nasty. I know it's probably like deadly. It's probably super bad. But I want to be able to make sure that if we need to have it as a source, we'll get to it. I just need to be able to do that. We have 4 Patriots water filter purifier.
4 Patriots is like
the 4 Patriots. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Lisa's here for the 5-minute warning, just so you know.
So, we want to say hi to Miss Sandy. She just came in.
I said hi to her too. Okay, Carmen, it is so good. I never thought I could do either, but the carbonated waters that we get, like the Waterloos or the Bubblies, they're really good. You can get the Waterloos for a good price at Costco. So I'm just saying. Plus, I feel fancy drinking it. I think I find myself as a suburb homesteader of sorts, constantly looking at, am I practicing what I'm preaching? I can make videos all day, but unless I'm heeding my own warning, just saying. It's true. It's very true. And I think about that all the time. Today, I made a quick little video on putting some snacks, if you will, into jars because we found some pretzels that are a great snack. They were on sale, and I bought a bunch of bags, and I threw them into some mason jars, and I was really happy that I was able to do that. It made me feel so good that I was able to get them put away and get in my pantry so that when we do our $50 food challenge in February, I've got snacks already ready, put away. I'm getting all the things I want to get put away so that we can have snacks out there, especially if things do start getting pricey and I'm not able to buy some extra crunchy things for the kids that they like to snack on. I've got some pretzels.
Yeah.
We all know it's Caleb's favorite snack.
Yeah, right.
So you can come over and have some.
So I will say this too, because somebody had said something. Freehandly, Nisi, how are you?
Hey, Nisi, how are you? She got new glasses, by the way, and they're super cute. They have like little, I think it was like a purpley pink on the side. Oh my gosh, so cute. She looks so cute.
I'm glad that you took time to
It was on
mention that.
Instagram, just so you know. I love it. It looks cute. I watch things and then I forget to comment, and then I just, yeah, it's so cute.
So what I was going to say, someone had mentioned something about putting water or like a pump or a fountain or something in our pond to get a little bit more aeration.
Yeah.
You know, the problem with that, and we've definitely thought about it. I actually put that on my eldest son to maybe come up with some different ideas.
And then he got married and left. So,
but no, this was after he left.
Oh, okay.
But the thing for us is our pond is probably 100 yards or so from, maybe even further from the closest
electrical outlet.
So
it's not close.
It's not close. And the other problem is that because the pond is utilized by the cows, then you have to cow proof it so that they don't break it or bump into it. So even if you decided to do like a solar type deal or something, you have to take that part in consideration as well.
Yeah.
And then of course, with them walking around the pond, then there could be erosion, you know, if they had to walk around an additional piece. So
yeah,
there's a lot that goes into it, but that's a hard lesson that we've learned too, is don't just jump on the first idea that pops in your head. You really, really
have to think about it.
You got to think about it
and research it and do your due diligence.
I was talking to one of our viewers the past couple of weeks, Phil, at work, and I was telling him, because he's looking to get into pigs, I told him, think about your ideas and then sit on it for about 3 months before you move.
Yeah.
Because if you continue to educate yourself and think about all the different seasons that are coming, you're going to start changing what you're looking at doing. Whereas with us, especially with our pig pen, we came up with an idea in about 10 minutes, put it up in about a day, and it's not the greatest pig pen.
Yeah. You know what? We learned. I wanted to speak to this real quick because I know we're running up against time, but Alicia said it's important to put little snacks and hard candies into your long-term preps. And I really think that's important.
Yeah.
And Lisa even said, yeah, I didn't think about the hard candies, and so did Carmen. That's something that, because we have kids and they're not necessarily going to want to eat
That's it. Well, we can't put these in the pantry. They're all gone.
I got extra. Anyway, but that's the thing is that having those little crunchy things, it's something about the crunch and the familiarity of things that you like. I could go out and buy some random cheap pretzels that the kids never liked, they didn't want anything to do with. And if everything hits the fan and I'm like, look, guys, here I have some pretzels and they're crunchy. It's one thing. They're gonna be like, yeah, okay, great. You know, push comes to shove. My kids are going to eat whatever I put in front of them. But when you're in, there's something to be said for having something that's familiar, having something that you enjoy, and those little sweet things that remind you of being normal. Because it's just like, and that reminds me of 2020, those little spots of when we went to the playground or when we did something that was normal. And my kids were like, I love this so much. And I'm like, yeah. So we might not go into the stores. We weren't going into Costco because I refuse to go to places that made me put masks on my children. That's just my preference. But I will say that having those little semblances of normal is important for me to be able to stock in my prepping pantry, because I want to make sure that if something happens and I can't afford to buy those special things, I want to be able to have some things that are put away so that we can do that.
Well,
you know?
Well, let's say real quick in closing that
What a weird prep she said.
But the thing is that even the idea of everything just going to like power shut down and everything, that's the percentage of that happening is pretty low. Okay. So let's just look at the prepping from a perspective of this is what we like.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to get to a place where you either don't go to the grocery store or you just go there less,
yeah,
because you have it on your shelf, then put what you want in there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right. Look, it's 10:01. Everybody's leaving. I need to leave. We got work in the morning. Well,
I have work in the morning, and if you all would do me a favor and just, I have an unspoken prayer request. So if you all just think about me tomorrow and my sister, if you would all just throw up a little prayer there for my sister and myself, we're going to spend the morning tomorrow together, and it's important. So.
And it's what?
Important. Okay, I'm done.
Are you guys going to fight?
No.
It's like a fist fight?
We're going to spend the morning together to celebrate.
Oh, okay. Good enough. Hey, who likes good lives and lots of people stopping through?
Thank you, Sandy. Farmers' wives do.
And farmers do too. Thank you guys so much. Until next week, have a good one.
See ya.
Bye. Peace.